want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Brad, Sean, Brian text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
Oh, boy. Yeah, here we are. It's program password. If it was a fight, they would stop it, but we have to keep going because we got to try to get to 2:15. So, Tanby, if you could read the clues a little slower. And instead of, how long do you give before you say 5 seconds? How long do you have before?
I don't have like an exact time. I just go by feel, but
so
yeah.
Like 10?
I'd probably give you like 3, 4, 5 seconds. Yeah.
Could you increase that to about a half minute just so we can get to 2:15? We might need it because this is another beatdown and I'm the victim of it again and I take all responsibility. Sad. What is it? If 56 to 9?
Not that bad. Oh. 42 to 9.
Oh, that's all. 42 to 9, no big deal.
Nothing. That's nothing.
The beauty of the game is you'll have the option for quite some time. And you know the layups are coming.
Yes, let's hope so. And remember that my favorite part is that our only 9 points is courtesy of because that was the password. He gave it as a clue.
That's
we got awarded the 9 points.
It was an own goal.
Yeah, it's like hitting it in your own net. So.
Yeah, Lil B and Kevin Fallness lead Common and Mike Grimm 42 to 9. As always, you can watch Program Password at KFAN.com/watch.
Is this wrong that I would rather get destroyed than lose a heartbreaker like last week? I'm not going to intentionally try to lose, but it's like when you're right at the very end and you do what I did last week, it haunted me.
Yeah, it did affect you, and normally the game does not.
Because it was so bad. I'd been playing so bad, and I thought, if I don't mind saying so myself, and I don't mind saying so myself, I was brilliant last week, and then I blew it at the very end. It was just sad. Still bothering me right now.
I can tell.
Anyway.
Still. It's like, it'd be like missing a field goal at the end of the game.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Let's play.
Lil B and Grimmer, take a look at the iPad, please. The password is curl. All right, Grim, you're down 33. You've got the option. Let's get on the board here. Let's make a comeback. What do you want to do here?
We'll try it. I have no idea what I'm going to say, but we'll try it. Probably
not a good idea to go first if you don't know what you're going to say.
5 seconds do I have to get this?
So you're going first.
Yep.
All right, Grim and Common for 10.
Spin.
Turn.
Lil B and Fallness for 9.
Rollers.
Curlers?
One chance to change it?
Curl.
Rollers is a good
Lil B, you and Fallness got some chemistry.
I know. I told you.
You two are good together.
Yeah.
God, you ripped me, though. Going into that one where we faced off against Muss and Molesky, you ripped me the whole time before I came in.
I'm sure you deserved it.
It did motivate me.
Just destroyed him.
Yeah.
It scared me. It didn't motivate me. I wanted to go home.
Well, I only do it if it's deserved.
He went to therapy because of that.
Cry about it.
He might be most improved at this game.
This is a blowout.
Over.
51 to 9. Lil B and Fallness with the lead. Fallness and Common. Take a look at the iPad. The password is labor. Common, you're down 42 points.
We'll go first.
All right, Common and Grim for 10.
Manual
labor.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
There we go. Good clue.
I wouldn't have went that way.
They're back. They're up tonight. Your first time you guys got points without Fallness' assistance.
We finally earned it on our own.
We're so happy for ourselves.
Yeah, what are the assist stats that we have in this game?
Fallness, will you come over and pat me on the head? I really feel good about it.
It's 51 to 19. Lil B and Grim. Take a look at the iPad. The password is stroke. All right, Grim. Down 32.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little back-to-back action here, though. You have the option. You want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
All right, Lil B and Fallness for 10.
Pet.
Dog.
Grim and Common for 9.
Pump.
Stroke.
Oh, wow.
Big get right there. Nice.
That didn't get out of the pump. I got it out of the first
Yeah.
one.
I was going to say, how'd you get that
No,
out
I
of
got
the
it out
pump?
of the first one.
You're
Because
welcome.
because like if the word was pet, or then let's say the word was companion or something, he would have said something different. So I went with what I thought. I'm really good at this game.
That's 2 in a row for you guys. And all of a sudden, it's a 51-28 game. Fallness and common. Take a look at the iPad. The password is mind. Hey, common, you get one here. You can make some things interesting here. You're down 23 points. You have the option. You want to go first or second?
First.
All right, common and grim for 10.
Brain.
Cancer.
Fallness and Lil B for 9.
Master?
Control?
Master.
Mind.
Yes.
That's my fault, Fallness. That's my fault.
Quit making eye contact with me, Grim. I know you're very proud of yourself, but quit staring at me.
I didn't do
Every
anything.
time he gloats.
I'm not gloating. I mean, we're still getting our butts kicked, but we are on the comeback
It's
trail.
a 27-0 run, and all of a sudden it's 51-36.
I'll take care of this.
All right.
Lil B and Grim, take a look at the iPad. The password is deck. Grim, you're down 15. You can make this a one-possession game all of a sudden. You've got the option. What do you want to do?
We'll try it.
Ooh.
All right, Grim and common for 10 to get within 5.
Patio.
Deck.
Nice.
Here we go.
Layup. There's the layups. Here they come.
Really, a patio could have been porch. It
Yeah,
could have
that's
been
exactly.
No,
You know?
patio can only be deck.
Favor?
That's what it is.
I almost was going to go big,
I would too.
but I didn't know if you'd know where we were headed with that.
It's a 5-point game all of a sudden. It's 51-46.
Fallness?
Lil
That
B and
freebie
Fallness
9 is
clinging
now
to a
starting.
lead.
That freebie 9 is starting to loom large now.
Fallness and common, take a look at the iPad. The password is dairy. Common, all of a sudden you got a chance to take a lead for the first time in this game. You're down by 5. You have the option. You want to go first or second?
We'll go first.
All right, Common and Grim for 10 in the lead.
Milk.
Honey.
Fallness and Lil B for 9.
Queen.
King?
Common and Grim for 8 in the lead.
Cow.
Dairy.
Yes.
I was thinking dairy and you said queen. I didn't even put together. That's my fault. I own it.
Although it's really
No argument.
princess.
But
right?
I will
Dairy
say,
princess.
no, but I will say, when he said
Dairy
queen,
Queen?
I didn't think of Dairy Queen, and I was
I
like,
didn't
what
either.
the- I see, I
Oh,
was
that's
thinking,
what it was. I was thinking.
because I was thinking, what the hell
I
is
was
he
thinking you were
saying
thinking
Yes.
Dairy
queen
Princess
for?
from the fair.
Same.
Gotcha. Yeah, Dairy Queen.
But that is a
Yeah.
great clue.
It
But
is a
I
good
did.
clue.
I was
Excellent
like,
clue.
I was like, what is he saying?
That's my fault.
Did I see the?
I got it off of Queen because I thought it was princess.
I want a Blizzard now, by the way.
Sorry, that'd be tasty.
I'd like a banana split.
Oh my God.
Pumpkin pie Blizzard.
What's the score now?
All of a sudden, for the first time in this game, Common and Mike Grimm
Hey-o!
have the lead. They're on a, let's see, my math, 45-0
We're on a heater, is
run.
what we're on.
Yeah.
And they lead 54-51. Lil B and Grimm. Take a look at the iPad. The password is Rush. Well, B, it's been a while, but all of a sudden you have the option because you're down 3 points. But you can regain the lead here. You want to go first or second?
I'm going to try first.
All right, Lil B and Fallness for 10 and to regain the lead.
Hurry.
Quick.
Grim and Common for 9.
Limbaugh.
Rush. Brilliant.
I'm done.
That's the fallness I know.
Oh, that's my fault.
Why
I should have
me?
said that.
Yeah, if you say
Something's
Limbaugh,
happening.
Eagles rush right away. Yeah.
63-51. Common and Grim with the lead. You are 17 points away from a win. Fallness and Common.
We are
iPad.
just 17.
The password is call. All right, Kevin, you're down 12. You guys need to stop the bleeding here. You've got the option. You want to go first or second?
We'll go first.
All right, Kevin and Lil B for 10.
Phone.
Call.
Bang! We're back. We're back. Woman.
Yes.
I like it.
Just call her woman.
I did. Woman.
I am one. It's fine.
Yeah, all right.
Been called worse.
That can't be derogatory.
All right, 63-61. Common and Grim have a 2-point lead. Lil B and Grim. Take a look at the iPad. The password is penguin. This one's on you, Lil B. You're down 2 points, so you have the option. You want to go first or second?
Hmm.
5 seconds.
Second.
Ooh.
All right, Grim and Common for 10.
Antarctica.
Circle.
Lil B and Fallness for 9.
Animal.
Polar.
Grim and Common for 8.
Pittsburgh.
Penguin.
Damn it.
I don't know why I said circle. I thought I was going to say that would be Arctic circle, Common.
Yeah.
Arctic, not Antarctic.
And I don't even know if penguins live there, but I couldn't. I don't.
No, that was perfect.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Here's where we're at. Common and Grim have 71 points. If you get 9 or more, you are victorious and pull off the miracle comeback. Lil B and Fallness, you're 19 out at 61 points, so it's 71-61. Fallness and Common. Take a look at the iPad. The password is shift. Fallness. Big decision here. You're down 10 points. The option is yours. You want to go first?
Hello.
Sometimes I forget to hit the button. Fallness. I gave you some extra time to think about it. You're down 10 points. Big decision. What do you want to do here, first or second?
We'll go second.
All right, Common and Grim for 10 and the win.
Stick.
Punch.
Fallness and Lil B for 9.
Adjust.
Change.
Common and Grim for 8.
Transmission.
Shift.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I didn't know what to say. I mean, so
That's a tough one.
that was tough.
Well, they didn't win, right?
They're 1 point shy
Awesome.
of 80 because they got 8. So they now lead 79-61. So Common and Grim, any correct answer, you are victorious. Lil B and Fallness, you are still 19 out. It is 79-61. Lil B and Grim, take a look at the iPad. The password is pressure. All right, Lil B, down 18 points, but you'll have the option the rest of the way. What do you want to do here, 1st
I'll
or
go
second?
first.
All right, Lil B and Fallness for 10.
Under.
Pressure. Yeah. So we get layups too. That's fun. I like that.
And you get
That's
to go.
fun.
And you get to go first again. Too.
Here's where we're at. Common and Grim at 79. Lil B and Fallness at 71. So Common or Grim, any correct answer, you win. Lil B and Fallness, 9 or more, and you guys win. Fallness and Common. Take a look at the iPad. The password is option. All right, Kevin. You're down 8. What do you want to do here? You want to go first or second?
I got to go first.
All right, Fallness and Lil B for 10 and the win.
Boulder.
Colorado.
Common and Grimm for 9 in the win.
Choice.
Option.
Yes.
What's Boulder?
The streak is over.
It's DT. It's Daryl Thompson's charity. And I knew that Grimm would have it, but I didn't know what else to do. I thought you'd say Holder. So
Wow.
I dodged that one anyway. Sorry.
I was thinking Colorado too, but then options was in the back of my mind. So
That was almost, that was as bad as me passing on Market last year. Wake.
Why?
No,
What?
I'm just kidding.
You guys were down 51 to 9.
I'm just so glad.
I'd like to have those 9 points back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now,
Sorry, Lil B.
I blame you.
I didn't want to jinx it, but I had a feeling of foreboding even when we were way ahead because I just felt like I was destined to never win again. You doubted me, and now I'm back.
I never doubted.
So you
Common.
did. Well done. Thanks
I
for
said
coming in.
that we were going to do it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And we did.
We did.
Thanks
Nice
for coming.
That was fun.
Gophers in Maryland tomorrow,
Tomorrow,
right?
12:30, JG with the pregame, 2:35 kick.
Perfect. And when do the Wild play
Wilder
again?
on tomorrow, 11:45 because of Gopher football. We're on Cool 108, 107.9 FM.
Thanks for coming in on short notice.
Thank you.
Lil B, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Take a short break. Come back with the Dark Star Memorial Hour next.
The Fan and 2 Men in a Junk Truck want to give you a shot to put $1,000 in your hand with our national cash contest. Just enter the keyword BILLS at KFAN.com for your shot at winning. The keyword is BILLS. Enter now at KFAN.com.
It is indeed the Dark Star Memorial Hour. We've not had any memorials in, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. And this one came to me via a text. And I did not have the phone number in my contacts, though I do know this person very well. And there was a link to a story, and then the text itself that said, Common, I hope you're doing well. Thought you could give a shout out to my old man on Friday's Gone But Not Forgotten segment. And so then I opened up the link, and it's Jim Simser, Davy Joe Simser's father. Tennessee, you replaced Davy Joe Simser. You are the 3rd producer of the Common Man program. Actually, the 4th. I had a part-time producer early on. It was Bo Mitchell, and that was followed by Ethan the Eel McIntosh. Then it was Joe Simser, and then it has been Tennessee. And what I did not realize, I knew that Davy Joe's dad was a coach, but I didn't know how accomplished he was. He coached New Richland, Heartland, Ellendale, Geneva. And he took them to 4. They appeared at the state, 4 state appearances, including the Class C championship in 1976 and the Class B crown in 1978. And he was tabbed the 1978 Minnesota Coach of the Year for his coaching prowess.
Wow.
He also served as the Minnesota Football Coaches Association's executive secretary for numerous years after accepting the role in 1986. He added 3 more state bids to his Hall of Fame coaching resume from 1990 to 99, engineering the Cardinals' first ever appearance in the Class A state semifinals. This is Fairmont. The Fairmont Cardinals in the Class A state semifinals at the Dome in 1992 before reaching the quarterfinals back-to-back in 96, 97. He also led Fairmont to 5 South Central Conference championships during his 10-year tenure. While he closed out his esteemed 32-year high school football coaching career, get this record, Tennessee, 223-91-1. Pretty impressive. And that record earned him his rightful place in the Minnesota Football Coaches Association's Hall of Fame in the year 2000 in the Fairmont Athletic Hall of Fame in 2015. He took pride in being a beloved husband, father, coach, teacher, and friend. His wife, Wynn Ann, passed away in the fall of 2013, but Jim is survived by 4 sons, Bill, Mike, Mark, and Davy Joe Simser, and their respective families. And there will be a funeral that happened earlier today, this morning at 11 a.m. So, may Jim Simser rest in peace, and thanks to Davy Joe for reaching out to me, and our sympathies from the Grum to you. And that's our Dark Star Memorials for today. If you have someone that has passed, it doesn't even have to be recent. can be it can be from years ago, but you just feel like you want to honor that person with the Dark Star Memorial Hour. You're always welcome. It's Fridays right after Program Password comes to its conclusion. Tenby, we talked extensively about the Vikings 30-20 setback at the hands of the Los Angeles Football Rams last night. Left tackle Christian Darrisaw left the game just before halftime with what appeared to be a knee injury, and that apparently is what it is. And the news just broke about an hour ago, and it's not good. Season-ending knee surgery, is that correct?
Yes.
Season-ending knee surgery for Christian Darrisaw. So, it's part and parcel with the game of football. Every team we know has injuries. It almost becomes a game of attrition. The Rams just got 2 players back from injuries, and they were instrumental in last night's win. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Did I say it right this time?
Yeah.
And Puka Nacua. Vikings were expecting or hoping to get Hawkinson back last night. They did not. Who did they get back though? Did they get somebody or did they not? It was Hawkinson.
Well, both Hawkinson and Reisner were out.
Okay, they were out. And so I think, do people tend to read?
No, I think Hawkinson needs to be activated
for the next game by Friday or something. There's a date, and that would be, and then he would have to play in the next game. Is that correct? Or if you're activated, does that mean?
Well, you don't have to play, but
you have to be activated.
To be on the active roster.
So we'll see what happens there. But the Darrisaw thing obviously is, tend to be talked about. He might be one of the 2 most important players on the team. Of course, if you listen to some of the emailers, they think it's Blake Cashman, who is a very important person to the team. But I would say it's Jets and Darrisaw.
It's also just there's a drop.
Yes.
Right? Like, I know Blake Cashman, everyone thinks he's apparently like the next Ray Lewis. But like, you have other linebackers, right, that are a drop from Cashman, but not as significant.
Right.
As much as,
The drop from Darrisaw, no matter who it is going to be, I think is going to be significant. Who do we think that will be? Some people sent several texts. Who feel, was it Blake Brandel? He's played left tackle before. Is that correct? Was he there when Darrisaw wasn't? So he might be the choice. The Reisner guy can play that spot, but
I guess if I didn't even know that about Blake Brandel, but if he could, then he could. Reisner, if he's healthy, could then slide into left guard.
Yeah. Can Cashman play left tackle?
Well, he's the best player on the team. Of course he could. He could probably play quarterback for us.
During the halftime show on the telecast, and I don't even know the names of the people that do the halftime on it's called
Richard Sherman.
Amazon Prime. But the halftime, somebody on Amazon Prime, because when Darrisaw went out, the Vikings were backed up in the shadows of their own goalpost. There was only like 35 seconds left, right? Mm-hmm. And he suggested, and this is, it's easy after the fact, right? Hindsight, but he said, at that point, do you just, with 35 seconds to go, do you just, they were inside their own 10, weren't they?
They were I think they're at their own 3.
Yeah, their own 3. It's like, do you just go ahead and kneel down? Again, it's easier to say it after the fact, but obviously it sure would have been nice had he, but the Vikings decided, and they have I don't know if most teams would, 35 seconds to go, you're at your own 3, if they would have tried to I think most what they do is they see if they can get a run or something that gives them if you bust out a 10, 12-yard run, all of a sudden you go, okay, now maybe we can do a couple of quick hitters, maybe one longer pass, spike it, go in. I don't know how many timeouts the Vikings have. Then you try to kick a field goal. But obviously it didn't work out for the Purple. And losing Darrisaw now, and it is funny how things can change, Tennessee. It was 2 weeks ago. The Vikings were 5-0, the toast of the town, the toast of the NFL.
Technically 1 week ago.
1 week ago, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Technically 1 week ago. They were the toast of the town and of the NFL. Many of the various power rankings had the Vikings rated as, if not the best team in pro football, amongst the top 5, and that was hard to argue, especially with the way they dismantled several teams, including a quality team in the Houston Texans. They destroyed the Giants, crushed Houston. I think their other games were more nip and tuck, but they won them. And then the loss to the Lions wasn't like they got blown out by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, the Lions, the second quarter was sort of kind of the difference in that game. The Lions scored 21 unanswered points, and the Vikings weren't able to catch them. But that's how quickly it can change. Like you say, just a week ago, or a little over a week ago, whatever it would be. Yeah, less than a week ago. The Vikings were 5-0, toast of the town. And now, if the Lions beat Tennessee, which I would think they would, let's just say for argument's sake at Litterbox, they do. Tennessee's terrible. Green Bay is playing who?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. They're not very good, right?
No.
Now, the Bears, I think, have Washington, and that could be tougher because Washington is apparently much better.
But they might be playing their backup quarterback.
Right. But they might be playing their backup quarterback, but they're much improved. But if those three NFC North teams were to win, in the matter of less than a week, the Vikings would have gone to first place in the NFC to fourth in the North. That's how quick it would be, right? Or would they maybe tiebreaker they would be over?
I mean, we beat the Packers, so I would think we'd have the tiebreaker on them, but your point is well taken.
Well, wouldn't the Packers be 6 and...
Oh, because they'd be a half game ahead of us.
They'd be a half game
they played one more game.
And I don't know what the Bears, I don't know if they have the tiebreaker. The Bears would go to 5-2, the same as the Vikes, but obviously it can change quickly. We'll break, come back, more controversial Vikings news and other topics. Common Man Program on the Fan.
Don't miss the high-stakes action as the UST Tommies battle the Golden Gophers at XL Energy Center tomorrow, October 26th. You can enter for a chance to win tickets to this game that promises to be unforgettable now at KFAN.com keyword contest. That's KFAN.com keyword contest to enter today.
Couple of 13-14 pass, Common Man Program. I'm Common. He's Teneby. Last segment of the show. We call this the Victory Formation segment. We've had another winning week. And so this is the equivalent of a National Football League team running out the clock and taking a knee, big ticket, and JG will follow this. Or is JG out? Is he traveling or is he here? No, the game's here, isn't it?
I think it's here,
Yeah, it's here. Yeah, so he will be here. There he is. Yeah, he's in the other studio. So JG is here today. Tomorrow night, Teneby, I'm excited and delighted to be your host / MC / ring announcer for the Northside Boxing Club's Fight Night 2024 at the Fillmore in Minneapolis. Boxing, chef cuisine, and hope benefiting the Northside Boxing Club. A special appearance by the legendary boxing legend Sugar Ray Leonard. Northside Boxing Club offers free programming for youth ages 9 to 18, 6 days a week, 50 weeks a year. They believe that they're fostering a culture and a family at Northside that will elevate the next generation of champions, both in the ring and the community. So they're helping the youth over on the North Side. Northside's coaches and staff build trusting relationships with youth by providing programs, positive role models, in a safe place that nurtures their social, emotional, and academic development. And I think we all believe in that. So I will be there, and tickets are available if you'd like to go. I think the place to go would be NSB 2024. NSB2024.com. That's NSB2024.com. That will include a little bit of a fireside chat with Sugar Ray Leonard. I'll be in the middle of the ring with him. I think we'll have some stools, and I'll ask him a few questions. He's going to wander around and meet and mingle with the people watching the fights. There's 5 fights on the card, and Sugar Ray will be there. Tim, I may have asked you this question before. Who is the most famous person you've ever met? I mean, face to face, shook their hand and said, "Hey, how you doing?" Who would you put on that list? Would it be Meat Sauce or Mark Rose?
Meat Sauce is right up there.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I played in the Trent Tucker celebrity poker tournament a long time ago, and I literally sat at the poker table right next to Michael Jordan.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So you actually met him and talked to him. That's big.
I mean,
right. Well, you didn't
everyone that was there. And I'm just talking about spectators were all just around our table because they wanted to watch MJ. Right. So I didn't want to be that guy rubbing out on him.
Yeah. So. But did you say?
No, he's my favorite athlete of all time.
Did you shake his hand and say, "How are you"?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I doubt I shook his hand, but I don't know.
Did you bluff him out of a winning hand?
No, he was running the table.
Was he really?
Oh, he was very aggressive. I'm sure he was bluffing a bunch.
Sugar Ray Leonard will be for sure a top 5 for me. And again, I think a lot of the youngsters out there may know the name but don't know what an impact he had as a professional fighter. I mean, he won a gold medal in 1976 Olympics. Then he went on to he fought everybody his weight class. He went on to win. I'm gonna have to do a little Wikipedia search. I think he probably won titles at 5 different weight classes. He had the very his first loss was when he fought Roberto Duran at the Brawl in Montreal. This was so long ago, would have been 1980, where when you would, it wasn't like you could just go on your TV and pay $79.99 and hit a button and you watch the fight, right, on, pay-per-view. You had to actually go down to the old Metropolitan Sports Center and buy a ticket and sit in the hockey seats. And they had 3 huge screens, almost as big as drive-in movie theater screens. And there'd be nothing up there for the longest time. And everybody just sitting there drinking beer and talking. Then all of a sudden, the guy with the satellite, I don't know if he's up on the roof and he's spinning this dish around, but all of a sudden, boom, the fight comes on. It's like, and it's not the main event. It's like one of the prelim fights. And everybody cheers, and that's how you watch the fights. And I watched the Brawl in Montreal, and Duran won the fight. And then they had the rematch, and that's the famous No Moss fight. You've probably heard about the No Moss fight, where Duran quit in the ring. Ray Leonard came in with a completely different strategy. He did the old stick and move, and then where he embarrassed Duran, where he did the old, he's standing in front of Duran, and he starts winding up his right arm like this, like he's going to give him a bolo punch. And as Duran's watching him, he takes his left hand and just jabs him right in the nose. Oh, and everybody laughed and thought it was funny. And that's when Duran turned around and said, "No Moss." And he said, "I quit." And the ref goes, "What?" Just quit fighting in the ring. Then he beat Hearns for a title. He fought Hearns a couple of times, had the great fight with Hagler. So, he was, so Ali, I met Ali. He would be number 1. And then it's between, for second, it's Arnold Palmer, and I guess now Sugar Ray Leonard or Monday Night Football guy. And I don't know which, I think Monday Night Football guy will go there. And then, meat sauces, and then Rosen. How can you not put Rosen in that? You have to have Rosen ranked in your top 5.
Yeah, well, he's number 2.
Yeah, he's got to be number 2.
Almost above Jordan.
Well, it's that famous photograph from when he was 11 years old at the World Series that really gets me. No, wait, I had a couple other things I was going to tap dance to. Oh, well, I'll start with this one right here. Remember, Teddy, we were talking about pitch framing?
Yes.
Because how did we get into that with the cheating? Flopping, yeah. And you and I suggest that pitch framing is the same thing. You're trying to gain an advantage by cheating the system. And we had a lot of ball guys say, not a chance. It's not anywhere near the same. Well, then I received this email at comment@KFAN.com. Where is it? There it is. And it says, he said, as a former umpire, by the way, he said 52, because I used to be 52. I was the 52nd. I think it was because I was the 52nd best talk show in the Talkers Heavy 100.
Yes.
But anyways, he says, as a former umpire, every level up to high school, there is no such thing as pitch framing. There's only missed calls by the umpire. Not once was one of my strike calls influenced by the movement of the catcher's glove after he caught it. The call is made by where the ball crosses the plate, not where the catcher moves his glove to after he catches it. So he says no umpire's fooled by it.
I don't buy that.
I write back, as it should be. But what is the catcher trying to accomplish by moving his glove into the strike zone after he's caught the pitch? He says, well, they think they're framing it because some overeducated bean counter from Brown that has to justify a salary and doesn't really understand how to analyze pitch data tells them they stole 3 strikes a game or some BS. When I caught in high school, I was taught to use soft hands and hold it, frame it, and maybe move it a fraction to steal a strike. And I was told by most umps what I wrote. Hey, bud, you're moving your glove even a little after you catch it. Has no bearing on the call. It's made where the ball crosses the plate. This new style of aggressively snapping the glove to frame pitches is the newest, dumbest thing in baseball. Drives me nuts watching games with these idiots. And, of course, the local 9 have some of the worst ones, too. If I ever find out who started teaching this to catchers, I'm going to wring his neck, LOL. And I tend to agree with him. I do think that most umpires, maybe some are influenced. I've talked about how I think umpires sometimes will call a strike. And it's a fine line. They have when you're watching on television, I watched quite a bit of the postseason play this year. Up until I don't think I'll watch any World Series. I just can't watch Yankees, Dodgers. But anyway, and they'll have the box that's in the strike zone, and they'll re-show the pitch. And sometimes it's called a strike, and it's right on the top of that box. That's the so-called strike zone. It's hard. The ball's coming in at 95 miles an hour. It's quick, and there's a strike zone. So you're not going to get every one. It's the egregious ones you worry about. But I would suppose there's been an umpire or two over the years. It probably happens a few times a game where the guy does move it a little bit, and the umpire falls for it. But I think in most cases, what Eric is saying is like, I'm not falling for it. Same thing like, when they flop in soccer. Most of the refs are going, no, you flopped. I saw it. Same in basketball. When the guy does the old, when he flops, same thing. The one that gets me, how do they rule this? They'll call it a foul, right? Let's say I'm taking the three-pointer, tend to me, and a guy's coming to block my shot, and you kick your leg out. You ever see that where they shoot?
Yeah.
You kick? So there's contact?
They do it all the time.
Well, that shouldn't, to me, is there a rule against that? Or
There is, but...
There is? Okay. Because if you do that, and I'm the ref and I see it, I ain't giving you no foul on that. You don't kick. It's like Tennessee where, let's say you want to, in golf, let's say you want to drop, okay? And from the cart path, because you don't like your lie. Then you stand like this. Because you wouldn't really stand like that on that shot. Yeah, that's what I said. No, you just wanted to touch the cart path with your leg so that you could get your free drop. I've seen it happen before where people will do it. This happened in a qualifier one time. I was over at Columbia Golf Course. The old number 17, which is now 8 par 3. 3 of us playing was for it was a players qualifier. And all 3 of us hit the green. And one of the guys, there was some damage on the green, and it wasn't damage from ball marks. It was like some grass hadn't been growing there, so it was kind of just like a bare little patch, right? And one of the guys goes, hey, can I fix that? Damage on the green? And I was kind of new to all this, and when you're playing in one of these things, you're supposed to protect the rest of the field, so you make the call. You don't just go, well, I'm playing with him. I guess I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And I didn't know what to say, but the other guy who was a veteran of this said, I can't give that to you. Nope. No, that's just damage that's been done from I don't know, just the grass wasn't growing there, whatever it is. And so he protected the field. So there are always people looking to gain a slight advantage, Tennessee, and it happens in all sports. I have this other note now. By the way, remember when I brought up yesterday, I warned everybody, anybody that has lost to the Lions this year has lost their next game. And that's exactly what happened to the Vikings. They lost to the Lions. It was preordained. You can't fight fate. Fate is fate. And so the Vikings lost that game. Then there's another one here, Tennessee. Lamar Jackson says Derrick Henry has a great chance to break hallowed NFL record that has stood for 40 years. And I'm assuming, give me this story. I don't want to watch the video. Hold on. Here we go. Eric, I don't want the video. I want the story. Give it to me again. Eric Dickerson set the NFL single-season rushing mark with 2,105 yards back in 1984. And over the past 40 years, no one has been able to top that mark. Heading into Week 8, Derrick Henry's on pace to break the record. And although plenty of players have gotten off to a hot start through the first half of the season before fading, Lamar Jackson thinks Henry might actually be able to break that record. Ravens QB says Henry has a good chance at top Dickerson's number. He told ESPN, if it's there, I feel like he has a great chance of achieving that. I think he can do it. I believe he can do that. What else is he going to say? It's his teammate. Through 7 weeks, Henry has rushed for 873 yards, which leads the NFL by more than 200 yards. Jordan Mason ranks second in the league with 667 yards on the ground. Who is Jordan Mason? You play fantasy football.
He's the running back for the 49ers with McCaffrey out.
Okay.
Yeah.
The rich get richer in San Francisco. As things currently stand, Henry's on pace for 2,100 120 yards, which would top Dickerson's mark by 15 yards. So Henry doesn't have a huge margin for error going forward, as the story says. Here's what Henry said. I don't really try to think about that too much. Just focus on me doing my job, being better and better every week. I don't really try to get into the statistics of things. I focus on the team goals, which is always important to say.
No, I'm assuming Henry's, because Dickerson's was in a 16 games.
That's correct.
Henry's would be through 17 games.
That is correct. It would still
have an asterisk.
Yeah, it would. To me, it would. It's much like, any record in baseball from when they used to play 154 games, and then they shifted that to 162. So that's like when Maris hit. He hit his 61st, I think, in the 162nd game of the season. I think there were still other people that. And I think I was in that group, too, that said Ruth still holds the record. But, you can make that. I still think there are people. Isn't Bonds technically, whether it was steroid enhanced or not, I think he holds the record. That is a hallowed record, the rushing record. Didn't AP come excruciatingly close?
Yes.
Peterson, how much did he miss it by? I think he missed it by like single-digit yards, right? I mean, he was so close. He was right there, and I don't even know what happened. I don't remember the last game of the season.
He was 8 yards shy.
Think about that.
He had 2,097 and 2012. Obviously, that was his MVP.
Yeah. That was also the year that we got beat by Green Bay right away in the playoffs, didn't we? His MVP season, I thought we got beat by Green Bay first round. I watched it on a cruise ship.
I think that was the one where Ponder was hurt, so he didn't play in that game.
Oh, right.
And who was the guy that was like our backup quarterback that was basically like a running quarterback?
I
think he ended up playing like wide receiver later in his career.
I
forget his name.
Someone else says Dickerson's is an asterisk because O.J. Simpson's was in 14 games. And I guess you could make that argument.
So there's only 8 rushers ever that have rushed for more than 2,000 yards.
Okay.
You mentioned O.J. He rushed for 2,003 in 1973. So if that's in 14 games, that's very impressive. Chris Johnson, 2006 yards in 2009. Terrell Davis, 2008, 1998. Derrick Henry's already on this list. Just 4 years ago in 2020, he had 2,027.
Joe Webb is who you're thinking about, Tennessee.
Yeah, Joe
Webb.
And then Barry Sanders, Jamal Lewis, Adrian Peterson, and then Eric Dickerson.
How many Sanders?
Yeah, Adrian, 8 yards shy.
What does Sanders have?
Sanders had 2,053 in 97.
Somebody, I don't remember who it was, I think it was a talk show host of Ill Repute, had wanted the Vikings to go after Derrick Henry along with Saquon Barkley and a couple of other running backs. Boy, it sure would be nice to have Derrick Henry on this team right now, wouldn't it? I mean, a lot of people would like to have a guy that's on pace to set the National Football League record.
It'd be great to have him. Then we're going to give him the ball 6 times a game.
Yeah. Well, I would think about how effective he would be. Then he'd probably have double the yardage right now because he wouldn't be worn down. There would be no chance of injury. He would just be a monster. So. But
also, like Derrick Henry's 30 years old, right? There's always like this thought of like when running backs get over 27, 28, they're going to fall off the cliff, and he's still doing his thing.
He is doing his thing, and we wish him the best. It's a hallowed record. Most yards rushing in a single season. I guess it bears repeating for those of you who just ducked in and haven't heard the news. Darisaw's out for the year. It sounds like he's going to have season-ending knee surgery, so that puts a little bit of a that's the word I was looking for. Crimp in our style. Crimp, I think, is the word I'm looking for. C-R-I-M-P. Crimp. It puts a little crimp in our style because you lose one of the best left tackles in the business. The team is in some trouble. I'm not sure when Blake Cashman comes back. It was written in town today, and a lot of text messengers think, get Blake Cashman back and all will be right with the world. Another text messenger sent a a message tend to be in. I did not see this statistical note that apparently Charge had earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday. See if I can find it here. Here's the text message. It says, comment a couple of things about this purple team. First, Charge posted a graphic that shows after the first 15 plays of the game, the purple offense goes from a top 5 to outside the top 25 offense, suggesting KOC cannot adjust after scripting the first couple of drives. Could there be any truth to that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many. I don't know if every single team, how many you script. I always thought it was like 25, I think was what some of the legendary coaches would do. Then he says, secondly, like last year, I feel like B-Flow's defense gets figured out and teams with data, and film are able to counter what B-Flow throws at them as the season progresses. It did happen last year. It was obviously the defense wasn't as effective against Detroit or the Rams. I think that goes for pretty much any team, though. It really does. I mean, it's like, and I'm not trying to defend B-Flow, but it is. I mean, it's like these guys spend, tell me, you hear it all the time, these coaches, they sleep at the office and they're trying to figure out ways to counter whatever it is the other team has been doing. And it does seem like, at least in these last 2 games, they've been able to do that with B-Flow.
Wait till we get Blake Cashman back.
No, wait till we get him back. And I can't answer to what the graphic that Charge posted today about after the first 15 plays, we go from a top 5 to outside the top 25 in offense. Maybe we don't make adjustments. I don't know. But you know what, Tennessee? We have a weekend to think about it and a whole week. We got a 10-day layoff before we host the Indianapolis Colts. Thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. We enjoyed our visit with you today. We'll talk to you on Monday at 12 noon. Stick around. Big Ticket, JG, they are next. Right here on the Fan.
Adios, au revoir, good night. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Minnesota! And good night, folks. And good night, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are.
Later.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.